it's very surreal, especially, you know, after winning that and then growing up, seeing that all your whole childhood and stuff like that, and be in that position to win.
I mean, it's just so special. South Carolina holds a special place in my heart. It's been my home for 4 years so far, and the crowd, the fans have never disappointed no matter where we play. They show up, and I know they're going to show out in Dallas as well.
Super competitive, so much so that we had to like cut practices short.
We won it. We run it real bad. It's probably extreme how hungry I am right now.
The road to the championship leads to Dallas, Texas. The Gamecock women's basketball team back in the Final Four. They open play tomorrow night against Iowa. It's a 9 p.m. scheduled tip-off at American Airlines Center in Dallas, where Dawn Staley and company hope to have a Texas-sized celebration come Sunday afternoon. Thanks for joining us for our special presentation, Gamecocks Road to the Championship. I'm Reggie Anderson, and we have team coverage with Chandler Mack and Sam Perez. They are in Dallas, Texas. They're in Big D. But we will begin with our Chandler Mack, who obviously has a lot of exciting things planned for our special tonight. Road to the Championship. Chandler in Dallas.
Hey, good evening, Reggie, and good evening to everyone watching at home. Yeah, this is a very exciting time here in Dallas. We got the Gamecocks taking on the Iowa Hawkeyes in the Final Four tomorrow, and it's a matchup pitting a very experienced South Carolina team versus not necessarily an inexperienced Iowa team, but a team that's not used to being on this stage. The Gamecocks are playing in their 5th Final Four in the last 9 seasons. As the Iowa Hawkeyes, on the other hand, this is their first time in the Final Four in 30 years. And they're here mainly because of their star player, Caitlin Clark, the Naismith Player of the Year this season, is averaging 28 points per game. Of course, she's coming off of that 40-point triple-double in the Elite Eight. She was the first player, male or female, to have a triple-double in an NCAA tournament game. So we'll see if the Gamecocks are going to be able to stop her. Here's what Dawn Staley had to tell us earlier today when discussing this matchup.
The people in Columbia, South Carolina, our fans, our local media, they've put us on a big stage for a very long time. So we've created habits to help us deal with situations like this. Like, I don't think, our players are going to run from the spotlight. I think they run towards it because they want to win a national championship. So we've created habits and approaches to big games like this that will keep our nerves under wraps. And, for me, I follow their lead.
Yeah, Reggie, and to echo that, the players told me today that they're not allowing this matchup to be a Leah Boston versus a Caitlin Clark. Simply put, is Gamecocks versus Hawkeyes, and if the Gamecocks are able to beat the Hawkeyes tomorrow and then ultimately win the national championship, they will become just the 10th program ever to go undefeated in a season. They will also be the 4th program to go back-to-back as national champions. Reggie, I'll have more on the Gamecocks right here in Dallas later on in the show. Until then, reporting in Dallas at the Final Four with the Gamecocks, Chandler Mack, News 19 WLTX.
And a little history for you. The last time South Carolina played at American Airlines Center, it was an all-SEC showdown in the final as Carolina defeated Mississippi State to win the first national championship of the Dawn Staley era. And Heathwood Hall grad Asia Wilson was named the Final Four's most outstanding player. That was a culmination of her decision to stay home. Remember, she was the top prospect nationally for the class of 2014. Dawn has made the Final Four 3 times as a player at Virginia, but had never won, and she also led the Gamecocks to the national semifinals in 2015 before losing to Notre Dame. But 6 seasons ago, she finally could celebrate a national championship, and now she's looking for her 2nd consecutive natty, and 3rd overall. That would move her into a tie with LSU's Kim Mulkey, who won 3 at Baylor, and Stanford's Tara Vanderveer. The late Pat Summitt won 8 at Knoxville, and Gino Auriemma obviously has 11 up at UConn. That is the most all-time. What about Dallas, Dawn? Yeah, Dawn loves Dallas.
Having an all-SEC national championship game, and then us knowing Mississippi State as well as we knew them because we played them 3 weeks before in the SEC tournament championship. And I just remember it's the familiarity of our opponent and knowing that we got a really good shot at winning.
And obviously they were able to seal the deal. All right. Obviously, the energy is high this weekend in Dallas with the Final Four, also the Final Four in Houston as well, so the Lone Star State taking center stage for college hoops. Our Sam Perez is live in Dallas. She is with Chandler, providing great coverage for us. Sam, I take it the energy is is getting that point where we're starting to feel getting closer to tip-off.
Oh, absolutely, Reggie. I'm right here at Town with Chandler. And like you said, that excitement is high and it is building. So right now I'm at Town in the Convention Center where you can see there are games. A lot of people are testing out their basketball skills. There's no one on the court right now, but they just got off. People are excited, and this is all in anticipation of the Gamecocks going to the Final Four. So this is something that Gamecock fans have been waiting for all season.
The experience, been praying for, looking for, cannot wait for 2 more victories.
And there are plenty to enjoy, starting with the party at the Plaza at the American Airlines Center. Megan Durham works with the NCAA, which is hosting the event.
It's just a really fun way to, I think, build up for the excitement in a way that's familiar to college sports fans.
That excitement and energy coming from Gamecock Nation is contagious.
FAMS, F-A-M-S, are electric. We light the fire. We smoke them out with loud cheering. We have an awesome fan base.
We love their attitude. We love their height. We love undefeated.
For people like Aaron Parker, they're inspiring.
Our team, I believe, are very good role models. They're people that set a good example on the court and in the community.
Setting good examples for fans like 10-year-old Bryn Archie.
It's really exciting because my dream is to be able to play basketball as I grow up. So it just feels so good to be able to watch them.
Other fans are shooting baskets at the Plaza Party. There are basketball throwing competitions where kids and adults show off their skills. Fans can grab a bite to eat before heading into the arena, all while hoping to watch their favorite team dominate.
It won't be a tough game. We're gonna blow them out.
Maybe tough first quarter.
No quarter gonna be tough. We're gonna beat them from the time it start until it finish.
Spurs up, baby. Let's go, Cox. You go. Yay! We gotta bring it on, Cox. Yay! Cox. Yay! Cox. Go, Cox. Bring it home, baby.
Oh my goodness, they crack me up. Well, things are still, happening here. It's actually continuing tomorrow also all the way through Sunday. So the fun is not over yet. Reporting in Dallas, Sam Perez, News 19 WLTX.
All right, back here on News 19, the Gamecocks' road to the championship continues. This is Andrew Lyon from Gamecocks Digest and Locked On Gamecocks podcast. Check both of those out. And Andrew, we expected the Gamecocks to be in Dallas for the Final Four, and no surprise, they are there, and they've done it in pretty dominating fashion.
Absolutely, Reggie. Obviously, the expectations were quite high for this team coming into this year, returning the majority of the pieces that led this squad to a national championship this past year. And somehow, they've probably surpassed even those expectations, coming into the Final Four with an undefeated mark, having toppled every single opponent up to this point in the season. Obviously, a tough battle with Maryland Terrapins in the Elite Eight, but of course, heading to the Final Four, you got a really good team in the Iowa Hawkeyes, led by Caitlin Clark, who just won the Naismith Memorial National Player of the Year award. And so, there's no question that, the Gamecocks, they're only 2 steps away from claiming a second straight national title, but they still got a lot of work that needs to be done over the weekend to accomplish that feat.
I don't want to date myself, but the Gamecocks really remind me of the Lakers back in the day when they had all those great players coming off the bench, like Bob McAdoo and Michael Thompson. They would wear you down with Showtime, and then the guys would come off the bench and they wouldn't miss a beat. And clearly, Dawn Staley's got that same amount of weapons on the bench. You can just look down and say, okay, you, and there's no drop-off.
No, there really isn't. I mean, you look at the front court, of course, Camila Cardoso, that 6'7" height that she brings, but also the touch that she has around the basket can help clean up any misses on the offensive end. And then you've got other players like Bree Hall, who's kind of like the same mold as Bree Beal, who can be effective both on the offensive and defensive end. And then you have other players that can also jump in, like you said, and there's not really much of a drop-off. And that's the big difference this year with Dawn Staley's squad this year, is they really do go 8, 9, 10, maybe even 11 players deep. And there's just not really any other team in women's college basketball this year that can say that, and that's why they're undefeated at this point heading into the Final Four.
Yeah, certainly are. Now, you look at what Pat Summitt did at Tennessee, and then Gino at UConn, and now it's Dawn Staley's turn to take the mantle as having the elite program in the country. It's really, really amazing what she's been able to accomplish. And I can remember, I was thinking about this today, when she first came to South Carolina, you know, obviously she had to implement her style, her philosophy. It took a year or so, but boy, has things really taken off.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, Dawn has built South Carolina to a point where now it is almost self-sustainable, and she could go out there and get any player that really she wants and her staff wants. And if Dawn ends up winning this national championship, it would be her third in the last 6 years, which would be more than Gino Auriemma and Kim Mulkey and Tara Vanderveer combined. And those are sort of the three titans of the sport. They have been for decades now. And so to say something like that, it would be an extraordinary accomplishment for Dawn Staley. And of course, I know the first two mean just as much to her, but this one, I think, especially with this special group of freshies, as they like to call themselves, would be even more special, I think, to Dawn Staley.
Aaliyah Boston, I would think she will go down as the most decorated athlete in Gamecock athletics history. With all due respect to Asia Wilson, the Heathwood Hall grad, but you know, Aaliyah's got a chance to walk away with 2 national championships.
Yeah, and Aaliyah, I mean, ever since she stepped on the floor for South Carolina, she has been one of the preeminent players in all of women's college basketball. I mean, what she has done on both ends of the floor, and especially the way that she has grown. You know, she was somebody that, of course, was a double-double machine as soon as she started her career in Columbia, but, you know, working out with Tim Duncan in the offseason a couple times and working on her footwork and the nuances of the game of basketball. That's how Aaliyah Boston has really separated herself. And, of course, like you mentioned, you still got to give Asia Wilson credit because she was the first one to ever do it here at South Carolina. She was an in-state player, which, of course, means so much to Gamecock fans. But Aaliyah Boston has taken that and somehow elevated the bar and ran with it. So it's quite amazing what she has done. And, of course, if she does end up leaving South Carolina, not taking that extra COVID year, she will go down, no doubt about it, as one of the greatest athletes to ever play, not just at South Carolina, but in her entire sport.
Well, certainly team chemistry is very important, and it seems like the Gamecocks have all the ingredients for a second consecutive national championship, and we'll see if they can put it all together in Dallas. He is Andrew Lyon from the Locked On Gamecocks podcast and Gamecocks Digest. Andrew, thanks for coming in, and the Gamecocks road to the championship will continue right after this. And a big day, obviously, for the Gamecocks coming up in Sunday afternoon. If they can get past Iowa, they would be playing for a national championship. So, again, thanks to Andrew Lyon from Gamecocks Digest and Locked On Gamecocks podcast. All right, stay with us. The road to the championship continues right here on News 19. All right, back here on the Gamecocks road to the championship. Obviously, basketball is a family affair, and Chandler Mack found that out as he made the trip to Dallas.
Welcome back to the Gamecocks Road to the Championship special right here on News 19. I'm Chandler Mack, and I'm being joined right now by Al and Cleone Boston, the parents of two-time Naismith Defensive Player of the Year, Aaliyah Boston. Al and Cleone, first off, how excited are you to see Aaliyah and the Gamecocks back in the Final Four?
Woo! Go Cox!
Very excited. Very, very excited and very happy to be here.
When you look at all the success Aaliyah has had over the last 4 years, when you sent her here 4 years ago, sent her to South Carolina 4 years ago, did you ever imagine she would be this successful?
Well, for us, all glory to God for blessing us just to even be here in this position with her. And we expected her to be successful. This level of success, I don't know if we thought about it. But we just thought that she would thrive in the system and will grow in the game that she loved, but we didn't honestly envision this.
This matchup on Friday, it's probably expected to be one of the most watched women's basketball games ever. The fact that your daughter is a big part of that, what does that mean?
We're very excited. I don't want to cry yet, but it's a great feeling.
Yeah, we're totally excited. You know, we just love this team. Aaliyah is a big part of it, but honestly, every single member of that team makes it what it is. And for that, the environment that she's been in, the environment that they're in now, they're ready for it. And we know it's going to be a great matchup.
What do you want Aaliyah's legacy to be at South Carolina?
Definitely, I wish it was a 4-time collegiate champion, but I'll take 2, so definitely.
And that she was a greater player, greater person off the court than she was on the court. She has great attributes that everyone can see, but the Aaliyah that her teammates know, that her coaches know, that we know, the loving, the God-fearing, caring person, I want that to be a bigger part of her legacy as what she does on the court.
And I have to ask you a question. You said last year that you beating Aaliyah helped propel her to the player that she is. Do you think you could beat Aaliyah now?
I mean, it's going to take me a little longer than I anticipated, but no. Let's just leave it as that, no.
All right, awesome. Thank you all so much. Reporting here in Dallas with the Gamecocks at the Final Four, Chandler Mack, News 19, WLTX.
Welcome back to the Gamecock Road to the Championship. I'm Sam Perez, coming to you from the Tourney Town, and I'm joined by a very special guest. This is Jasmine Irvin, and she's one of the many Gamecock fans I've talked to today. And Jasmine, you're here all the way from Maryland, so tell me why you came all the way down to Texas.
So, super Gamecocks fan. I'm a Dawn Staley fan, and I came to support the women's tournament.
All right, and how are you feeling ahead of tomorrow?
I'm super excited. I can't wait to see all the 4 teams compete and see some competitive basketball.
Absolutely. Well, Jasmine, thank you so much for your time and for sharing that with us. Again, the energy is really high here. Gamecock fans are very excited, just like Jasmine. And we are having a blast here at the Tourney Town. So this is continuing tomorrow. Also, the party in the plaza will be back tomorrow morning. So we are here. Chandler and I are going to keep bringing you team coverage. Reporting live in Dallas, Sam Perez, News 19 WLTX.
And for continuing coverage, check us out online and on air. Thank you for watching Gamecocks Road to the Championship. We will see you tonight on News 19 at 11.
See a story you loved? Watch it again right now on WLTX Plus, available on Roku and Fire TV.